Hi, everybody, and welcome to the May 2023 Education Updates. I want to start us off with a quick little quote here. Education is simply the soul of a society as it passes from one generation to another by Gilbert Chesterton. Next, I want to talk about some new staff that we are welcoming for the month of April. We have welcomed Thomas Hollenbeck Pringle at Broomfield. He's going to be a full-time RN working mids 0900 to 2100. And for long speak, we did not have any new hires for April. We had some transitions from traveler positions into full-time positions. So we do have some new hires on the horizon for May, and I'll update you guys on that in the June update. I want to talk to you guys about the education calendar that we just launched in our Teams page. This is available for both Broomfield and Long Speak Hospital. As you can tell in the picture here, there is a little layout with red being required stuff, green being optional, and yellow being some new rollouts. Check out this calendar on the education tab. This will be something that we update throughout the whole entire year. You'll see all the available opportunities for education here that you might want to take part in if you need CEs on your requirements per your annual competency assessment plan. Next, I want to talk to you guys about the education needs assessment. It is that time of the year again. Let's get this completed by everybody so that way we can hear your voice and see what you guys want to do for education for the next fiscal year. This is a pretty quick survey. It's not very long. The due date for this is on the 8th of May, which is coming up really quickly here now. The information that I gather from this needs assessment is going to impact what we do throughout the whole entire year, which includes our skills lab, includes any trauma simulations or any other simulations that we might do throughout the year, as well as any other education opportunities that we need to focus on offering to you guys. The next thing I want to talk about is the annual competency assessment plan. The due date for that is the 30th of June. That's quickly coming up again as well. There's a lot of tasks on this annual competency assessment. I've sent this out an email multiple times. It's also available to you guys under the education tab in Teams. So if you haven't looked at it, time is quickly running out. You have a little less than 2 months. Please take a look at that. There's a lot of things that you need to complete, such as MCI drills, which there's one coming up here in May in a couple of days for both LPH. I think it's May 3rd and May 4th for Broomfield, as well as CEs and stuff like that. And there's a lot of opportunities for CEs if you want to use like Lippincott professional development. Or you can just check out the education calendar that we just talked about. The other big thing I want to touch upon with this competency assessment plan is this is not a document just for nurses. This is a document for both EMTs and paramedics alike. Each task specifies if it's not required for EMTs or paramedics or if it's recommended. If it doesn't mention anything regarding paramedics and EMTs, then that means it is required by all staff. ULearn deadlines, we had a bundle of ULearns that were released halfway through April. Some of those include malignant hyperthermia protocol, procedural sedation in the ED, helipad training, EMTALA, restraints, and these are not exact titles. These are the topics that they were covering, so just look out for those keywords in the titles of those ULearns. Some of them have due dates that are somewhere halfway through May, but as long as you guys get this all done by the end of this month, you guys should be golden. This is a requirement for the annual competency assessment plan. So just please make sure all that is done, and that way you can build your little portfolio for your managers or A&M or whoever is going to be doing your career conversation after the fiscal year ends, and you can present them with all the proof of your work. Want to talk about behavioral health observation forms. This is something that we need to discuss for both facilities, LPH and BFH. We recently had an event that is requiring us to discuss it specifically. So yellow and red forms are forms that we use for observation. So line of sight versus constant one-to-one observation. The biggest difference between the two is line of sight. The DPO or the direct patient observer can watch the patient within line of sight. They don't have to be near the patient. So they can watch up to 4 patients at once. 3 patients at LPH, I believe, is the case with how the room layout is. 2 patients at Broomfield with the way the room layout is. The constant one-to-one observation form is what it states, constant one-to-one, meaning they have to be within arm's reach of the patient. So the DPO can only watch one patient at a time. I recently sent out a tip sheet and an attestation form for LPH. The due date for that is May 19th, so please go back and get that signed off once you reviewed that tip sheet. We are adding a couple of things to these forms. So in essence, it's going to create a packet. It's going to be a checklist that kind of works as a cover sheet where you see everything that needs to be completed for this patient and gives you kind of a layout, something you can check off as you're going, so that way you're not missing things. One of these forms, depending which one you choose for the patient, which one is required based on the CSSRS documentation. And then in the back is going to be a little ligature risk flyer that you can use it for yourself as a reminder, a visual reminder for what things shouldn't be in the room, but mainly for the security guards so they have a visual reminder what should not be in the room, things for them to look out for. Next, I want to talk about the LPH Trauma Advanced Skills Lab. That's coming up here. We are changing it up a little bit. Instead of having multiple sessions in one quarter, we're going to offer this quarterly. So we're going to have one day every quarter starting in July. And these are tentative days that you can see on here. And then in October, it's going to be one day offering an AM and an evening session. And then next quarter, same thing, AM and an evening session all in one day. You do not have to attend this quarterly. You just have to attend one every year. So just going to be a lot more offering for you guys, a little bit more availability to get this done. And I'm going to get some more information out to you guys as we really nail down the details on this. Next, I want to talk about the trauma simulation at Broomfield. I just got some information from our simulation team. They are going to be available on the 22nd, so it is confirmed. Unless something comes up, I will let you guys know. But on the 22nd, I am still figuring out exact time, but it's going to be sometime in the morning. We are going to have an awesome simulation. I'm trying to get some cool high fidelity stuff for us as well. Be on the lookout for some information on ULearn for how to sign up for this, and I hope to see you guys there. We recently had one at LPH, and it was an amazing experience. We're going to have another one planned for LPH, hopefully sometime in July as well. This here is just a reminder, something that we mentioned in the last updates. ACLS and BLS courses are coming to Broomfield. Again, this is a huge win. I have a meeting actually today with the life support people from Anschutz to discuss the details on how this is going to work, where we're going to host this class, and what is the process of becoming an instructor. So if you are interested in becoming an ACLS, BLS instructor, reach out to me. I've already had a ton of interest, but we can never have enough instructors if we want to make these classes a regular occurrence. So if you are interested, reach out to me, and as soon as I know more information on how this is going to look like, I'm going to get that information out to you guys, and we're going to get some classes closer to home. Mandatory fall education for Broomfield and LPH. We just finalized our 2 pilot courses that we had. There's a lot of kinks to be worked out, technology issues, and I believe mostly these are figured out. As promised, we are going to have a lot more sessions, and I'm really doing that in May. I'm providing a ton of sessions in May. The first one being on the 5th of May. I'm still waiting for ULearn to finalize and post the course events in ULearn. So this is kind of cutting it close considering today is the 1st of May. So that one might fall off if it's not going to give enough time for people to complete the pre-course quiz. Speaking of the pre-course quiz, if you are signing up for the fall education course, this is a requirement that you do complete a pre-course quiz before attending the session. The session is scheduled for 60 minutes. The presentation takes about 30-35 minutes, and the rest of the time you have to complete the post-course quiz as well as the survey. I will let you guys know once these are updated. I'm hoping sometime today or tomorrow these will be created in ULearn as course events, and then you can navigate as stated on the bottom here, Fall Education BFH/LPH Emergency Department, and you'll be able to find those courses posted there. Post-cardiac arrest pathway targeted temperature management is going live today. I've sent out some information regarding this earlier in April with some education. That education is also posted on a Teams page under the Education tab. There's only 3 documents. One document is a really nifty checklist that you can follow as you're utilizing this process. There's a video to show you how to document it and tip sheet that kind of talks about it in general, including the documentation. This is mostly for LPH as BFH does not have a method of cooling a patient, but it is also good information regardless to have. Anybody that's cross-trained to LPH should also probably know this information. And yeah, let me know if there's any questions about this. And then just a reminder, cross-training, if you've been hired recently at Broomfield or LPH, you have to cross-train to the other facility. It's about a 4-hour shift that gets you familiar with the department. There's no expectation that you pick up shifts there. This is more for safety in case there's an event such as a disaster, an MCI. You are nearby and you are most importantly willing to come in. At least you're familiar with the environment of where you're helping us out at. And the last thing is education requests. If you have any education requests, please send them my way. I'm more than happy to get stuff out to you guys. And I hope you guys have a great week, great month. I will get back to you guys with more updates next month. And please reach out to me if you have any questions, text, email, call. Catch me in my office. Catch me as I'm rounding on you guys. I'm happy to help with whatever education you guys need.